All right, on the different balloons with gases and the whistle that you get from that, what we're doing there is basically comparing between the molar volumes, molar masses of those gases, and that translates into a different sound based on that velocity of flow of gas through there, and that's affected by the molar mass of the individual gases. In the video you see we used helium, nitrogen, and sulfur hexafluoride. That isn't all that you can do. You can use oxygen, you can use methane, you can use carbon dioxide, and did I mention oxygen? That's another one that you can do in that. The fun one to do with carbon dioxide, which is fairly easy to come by in the solid form, is to get a small piece of carbon dioxide, roughly about a 1x1 cube, give you an idea of how big a piece, and to put that into one of the balloons like you saw we did there, and then seal the balloon up. And over time then, that's going to completely fill with carbon dioxide gas. And you've got your carbon dioxide that you can flow through your pipe. What we actually use in the demonstration is out of a pipe organ, out of some kind of pipe instrument. But you can get other pitch pipes, other things like that. We actually have a plastic one that I bought just in case the wood broke down on the pipe that we use. But you can find those, and then you just have to fix an adaptation so that you can get the gas out of the balloon to flow through there. And that's a little challenging. It's real easy to get the balloon up there, have it fit on there, and all the gas leak out, and you get no sound because you're not directing it down through the pipe. So you want to make sure you've got that well adapted between the balloons and that, and there's no set requirements for that. It's just make it so it doesn't leak. It's got to let the gas flow out of there easily. So there's a variety of gases you can use there. One of the combinations and tests you could do is if you can get oxygen, is use it and then do one that's just full of air. Another comparison you do is carbon dioxide, like I mentioned, with a piece of it and filling it up, then have someone just exhale and fill another balloon up, and there you're going to have a percentage of carbon dioxide and other gases. How does that compare? And you can see if the sound is a little different comparison that way. The gases like sulfur hexafluoride are very expensive, and unless you're dealing with electronics and some of the things there and might have access to someone that's using it for that, probably that's going to be a more difficult one to get. But nitrogen and some of those that are heavier gases, and some of those give you a comparison that goes toward that range, just not quite as heavy of a mass that gives you that slow flow of gas in the lower end sound. Safety-wise, this one is fairly inert, and in some cases the gases directly are inert, other than hydrogen. If you're using hydrogen, you want to be careful with that as far as flammability, but for the most part there's no real problems with that. One of the things that people know about, and it's been popularized because of different things, even the Big Bang Theory used this whole principle and made a really funny sketch about Sheldon breathing helium while he was doing a radio broadcast. But one of the things that they've done with gases to show the impact on vocal cords is by breathing in helium or other heavier gases or stuff like that. There is some risk factor to that. If you displace enough of the oxygen in your lungs with those other gases for a long enough period of time, you can faint. And so it's not advised to do those things. The helium probably is the least problematic, and a small amount of that is going to change your pitch of your vocal cords and the sound coming out of that, and not real problematic. But you have to be thinking about the fact this is not what you need to breathe, and helium is going to give you difficulty if you breathe too much of it in there.